All right, welcome back to Sunday Nation. How are companies marketing to the African American consumer? Sometimes the question is asked, and the issue is who is marketing to who? Joining me now is Temeria Heard. She's the president and CEO of Corporate 52 Branded Marketing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I have you in here because, you know, I received emails all the time, and most of the time comes out of LA, New York, and these are individuals who are trying to reach the black consumer, trying to reach African American consumers, and sometimes, you know, you take it that perhaps they don't even know much about Detroit, they don't even know much about the, you know, the African American community, but they're believing that if they can get to a media person, that individual can send their message for them. I want to talk about just the significance of marketing to the black consumer beyond just the idea of marketing, but what that requires and the role that black voices can play, such as yours.
I think that companies need to understand who they're marketing to. They need to actually understand not just the race, but just the person at hand.
Right.
You hear a lot of these companies, like you say, they're marketing to, you know, to people they're calling, and I think these multinational corporations, they have so much power, and we, smaller minority companies, are kind of out of the loop, and they have these conglomerates, and they're able to just really, you know, hone in and you know, target these companies because they have the money and the resources to do that, when a lot of us smaller businesses would really not.
Well, one thing that I've also observed is that even in the media market here in Detroit, and I think that also speaks for other markets, is that you don't find too many African Americans who are in marketing and the practice of branding as well. And so these companies are dealing with, I mean, they're selling, of course, their products to the black community, but who's marketing, who controls the branding, it's not people that look like us.
That is correct. Unfortunately, we have such, I feel like we really don't understand our spending and buying power. We really have it. Right now, the black buying dollar is projected to make a spend of $1.8 trillion in 2024. And I think that if we really knew the value of our dollar, we would really come together more so and collectively and try to really, you know, just join forces and just try to grow together.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing to me that sometimes it becomes almost like an anomaly, right? It's, you know, so we have Temeria Heard here with Corporate 52, then we have another black person here, and then we have to go 100 miles and meet another black person, go to Memphis, go to Atlanta, New York. You know, it becomes an anomaly. So what will it take, though, to have, you know, to ensure that in fact there is equity in this marketing and branding field, which is a very lucrative field because these companies are not paying branding and marketing companies peanuts to brand their products.
Again, you know, I just think that we need not just only financial literacy, but I think companies, black companies need to be able to have the opportunity to project themselves on an even playing field. It's really difficult to, you know, to compete against these big companies here, and I just think that we just really need to. So
let's talk about Corporate 52 and why you decided to go that route of having your own branding and marketing agency.
You know, I started out 7 years ago, and I feel like there wasn't a lot of black women in my space, particularly what I would purchase for a company I used to work for. I would always deal with mostly Caucasian men, actually, and I felt like I always had some advice to give or something to change about the order when it came back, and I felt like that I could do probably a better job than they did, and I decided to step out. And
so you were advising the advisors?
Yes, exactly, pretty much, and I just kind of grew from there, and my Detroit Tigers was my first client, my first major client, and just kind of grew from there with word of mouth and just really knowing and understanding what I was doing, and people pay attention to that, and when you do good work and people respect you and they like you, you know, they give you business.
Well, and I think that's important to underline, though, when you do good work, right, and people respect you. I mean, those are important, you know, perhaps cardinal principles in marketing, right? Because people have to respect your work, and your work has to be good.
Yes.
And I want you to expound on that a little bit, though, because I think sometimes, people tend to feel like, just because, I'm black, somebody needs to support me. Okay, I'll support you, you're black, but also, your product and what you're offering has to be outstanding.
Absolutely. It has to be even better
Right,
than the people I'm competing against. Because I am a black woman, I am a black business, the spotlight is going to be shown extra, bright on me.
That's right.
And any mistake, anything is going to be really quickly pointed out. So I make sure that, first of all, projects, everything is on time, on budget, and that everything is just pretty much perfect, white gloves, customer service, and you just deliver. And again, just when people like you.
Yeah, but the significance, though, of this marketing and branding with major corporations here, because we see them, their budget is huge. It's Coca-Cola. I mean, I can name them. These companies, even though they're making trillions in profits, they're still spending a whole lot of money in branding and marketing because they still need that consumer market.
They do. I would like to see them increase their minority spend. Their ad spend with minority companies. I was just reading yesterday about GM. They committed to 4% on their ad spend with minority businesses, and I think they're going to up it to 8% by 2005. I think that things like
2025.
2025. I think that things like that, most companies should follow suit, and I think it shouldn't be just a checking of a box for diversity and inclusion. I really think they should really put their money where their mouth is. A lot of companies have actually done that, and I think we have a long way to go, though.
It's funny you say that in terms of checking the box, because I do realize this is the first show of Black History Month, so we're in Black History as well, and here we're talking about branding and black folk and so forth, because a lot of companies like to take the easy way route. They just want to check the box and we're good to go. But the question of equity and social inclusion and what that looks like, I think it's important in how they brand and market, having a conscience, if you will.
Absolutely. I feel like without us, black people, buying, companies would not exist, honestly.
That's true.
Because our spending power is greater than pretty much any other race. Right now, again, like I say, by 2024, we're projected to spend $1.8 trillion. That's just black people alone.
So if black folk, if we don't spend, then the bells on the NASDAQ bells are not ringing on Wall Street.
It's going to be pretty quiet.
Right, it's going to be like a funeral on Wall Street.
Exactly, it's going to be like a ghost town. And I wish that we really knew that and could hone into that and just tap into that power and understand that we are powerful and we really keep these companies going.
So let's reflect. So 7 years ago you set up your company. 7 years later, how has it been for you?
It's been ups and downs, obviously, as an entrepreneur, but overall,
there are bad days, good days.
Oh yes, the pandemic. I feel like I'm still crawling out of the hole from the pandemic.
Right.
But overall, I'm grateful to be here. I thank God I was able to maneuver my way through the pandemic. I didn't take out any loans. Make sure that my overhead is always low and my expenses are low, so I was able to navigate that way. I have great clients, return clients, and always growing with clients. It's been a great journey. I wouldn't change anything about it.
Well, it's funny, we've not talked about even the pandemic, how it has affected a lot of small businesses, but I feel like it's almost as if a lot of black businesses have taken a hit, and some are basically now trying to recover from the pandemic.
Yes, a lot have taken a hit. A lot have went under. Sadly, they've closed down. Some of them have closed down their shops and maybe moved to online, 100% selling. But I like to see big corporations offering, like mentorship programs. Like Microsoft contacted me. I've been a customer. I've been a vendor of theirs for a couple of years now, and they actually assigned me a mentor who I meet with really every other couple of months. And we go through issues and things that maybe concerns and ways to grow and how she can.
So to help you succeed in your business.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because I've seen a lot of companies, who are sponsoring TV commercials, saying Black history, and it's almost as if it's the moment to show love to black folk. But I think you can do that 365 days of the year, and helping black-owned businesses succeed in terms of the example that you cited.
Absolutely. It's not a fad or, you know, a phase that should just be done at a certain amount of time or certain once a year, you know. I think it should be continuous, literally 365, because when black business succeed, I think everyone succeeds. Black businesses are responsible for employing and contributing majorly to the American society.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Well, Temeria Heard, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sunday Nation. Remember, if it is Sunday, it is Sunday Nation with Bankole Thompson on MyTV38 WADL-Detroit. I will see you next week with more on Sunday Nation.